In this video, as you can see in the preview on the screen, you're gonna learn how to create a simple yet really cool responsive footer that you can use, for example, for your own website. By the way, to create this cool footer, I've created an SVG file that we are going to use later on. This is included in the source code that you can get using the link in the description. Being an SVG file, you can easily change the color to whatever color you need just by changing its code, and you can also change the sharpness of the curve with CSS, and I'll show you how to do that later on. In the description, you can also find other interesting things such as links to join amazing learning platforms and a lot more, so go and check them out, and thank you so much for the support. So here I have my index.html file. I've linked the style sheets. As you can see, I've linked the all.css style sheet from Font Awesome. If you don't know how to structure things, etc., I've made a video about that, so I'll leave the link in the description box down below. Also, I have live server running and preacher running as well, which is the code formatter. I've made videos about those as well, so as usual, you'll find all the links down in the description. This is the structure of my project, so the index.html file, then the images that contains the SVG that I talked about, then the CSS folder with the main.css file, and then the Font Awesome folder. Okay, so this is the structure. All right, so let's get started by adding here a div with the ID main container like this, and then inside of here, simple header with the nav. So here I'm going to add a few different links. So home, then let's actually do this. So gallery, this is just to make the website more sort of real. Okay, then down here I'm going to add a div containing the content, so the ID content. Then instead of here in H1, a title, how to take photo, something like that. Then the paragraph containing, I don't know, something like Lorem 100, something like this. All right, that is enough. Then I'm going to just duplicate that, and then I'm going to copy this down here and call it how to set up full perfect shot. All right, of course you can structure things better, but I don't want to waste too much time because this video is all about the footer. Okay, but I want to make the website sort of real, so that's why I'm doing this. But of course, as I said, you can structure things even better, maybe in sections or whatever. Okay, but let's not waste too much time. Okay, so down here then, after the content div here, let's actually save that. Down there, we can actually add the footer, and first of all, I'm gonna add the footer container like this, the image that is going to be images like this, and then footer curve.svg. As I said in the introduction, once you have this file that is included in the source code, you can change the color just by going. Actually, I'm going to show you that. So you can go here, images, footer curve, you scroll all the way to the right, and you can see fill. Okay, if you change this color, which is already the color that I'm going to use later on, you can change this, and then the actual SVG will change color. So you've got one SVG file, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can change the color without having to modify anything using other software, etc., etc. So that's really cool. So let's go back here. So then after the image, we're going to add the footer, and inside the footer, I'm going to add a div with the ID footer like this, links section, and then 3 links. I'm actually going to do something like that. Of course, here you should have the right links, but I don't have any, so it doesn't make sense. Okay, so community here, then partners, and then pricing. By the way, don't forget that you can get the source code and also the SVG file using the link down in the description. Down in the description, you can also find other interesting things such as links to join amazing learning platforms and a lot more. So go and check them out, and thank you so much for the support. So then after the footer links section, I'm going to have another section called footer social section like this. And here we're going to have few links like this, and here we're going to have all the icons like Facebook, Instagram, etc. I'm going to show you where you can actually find that. So this is what we've got so far. So you can go to fontawesome.com, icons, and there you can search for Facebook, something like that. Then you go here, you choose the one you want. This is the one that I've chosen. You can go here, click here, and then let's go back here and let's go back here. All right. So you can just add that there like this. And I'm just going to add the others real quick. So let me just copy them from here. So I've already opened them. So Instagram, that I've got Twitter, then YouTube, Pinterest, Splash, and that. Of course, because this is a sort of website of a photographer, basically. So you've got Pinterest and Splash or whatever, and then the email, etc., etc. Then you can just write your links here. This could potentially be something that someone uses for like photographs, like the community, partners, pricing, whatever. Okay, so this is the idea behind this kind of website. All right, and down here, after the div, we can have a small, and we're gonna have something like, which is the copyright symbol, company, like this. Pretty cool. So this is what we've got. So as you can see, this is the SVG that we're going to use. Okay. And here you've got all the things. So this is the SVG that I told you that you can find in the source code and that you can change the color of. Actually, let's see if you can actually do that. So you can go here, curve, and you can just do something like 0.00000, something like that. And then if you go back here, as you can see, this is black. Okay. So this is how you do things. Perfect. So now that we've got the basic structure of the website, let's go to the main.css file and let's start styling things properly. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to reset a few things. So box sizing, border box, margin 0. You can add as many things as you want here, but I just need those for this website. So then the body, I just need the background color, which is going to be 5FF like this, really subtle. Then the main container width 100%, height 100% of the viewport height, and this is used so that the footer always sticks at the bottom. And I actually made a video about this, so if you want to dive deeper into how this works, etc., I'll leave the link down in the description box down below. It's going to be 0800949. Then display is going to be flex. Flex direction is going to be column, and then align items center like this. Then the header, main container header like that, and here width 100%, height 100 pixels, background color, this, display flex, and justify content center. Of course, I'm not going to make the header responsive in this video because this is a video about the footer, so it doesn't make sense. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, hit the like button to let me know, and also subscribe to the channel as well for more videos like this one. So navigation, height is going to be 100%, width 100%, display is going to be flex, justify content is going to be center, and then align items is going to be center, like that. Then the links, so main container, not a. Text decoration is going to be none. I don't want the underline. Then the margin, 25 pixels to sort of separate them. The font size is going to be 23 pixels. As usual, I'm not going to have a specific font, but you can have the font that you want. Then the content with 100%, flex grow 1, and this is also so that the content stretches to cover the remaining part of the website and the footer actually stays at the bottom. So this is really important. Max width 66 pixels, then the padding is going to be 40 pixels and 30 pixels. Then display is going to be flex, and the flex direction column, align items center. Okay, then the H1 like this, and this is going to be margin bottom 30 pixels, font size is going to be 40 pixels, and then the text align is going to be center, pretty easy. And then the content paragraph, simply margin bottom 50 pixels and then width 100%. Let's see what we've got so far. So this is what we've got so far, so much better. Actually, up here, as you can see, the header does have a problem. So let's see, let's go up here, let's see. Oh, as you can see here, we've got a typo. So main, okay, like that. So let's actually see. Okay, so now that looks so much better, right? That's really easy when you type fast to make typos like this, but when you actually look at the web page and you see something wrong, it's like, oh, you made a mistake somewhere. So like in this case. Okay, so down here, now we can start styling the footer. So container width is going to be 100%, position is going to be relative, then the margin top is going to be 20 pixels, color is going to be this one, background color this other one, perfect. Then the footer, in itself. All right, so height is going to be 150 pixels, then the width 100%, display flex, align items center, justify content center, flex wrap, margin bottom 10 pixels, like this, perfect. And then of course now we need to style the divs. So container footer div, and then just with 50%. So the first row will contain just two elements, the two divs, and then below that the small that we're going to actually style now. So footer, container, footer like this, and then small, and we're going just to change the font size to 14 pixels, and then the color is going to be this color here. So it's going to be B6A FF8 like that. So let's actually see what we've got. Okay, so this is what we've got. As you can see here, you don't see anything because the icons and the links have the same color as the background, so you don't see them. So we need to change them. So now, before we actually style the image, we are going to style the footer links section, and there's going to be display flex, justify content right, and the padding right is going to be 20 pixels. Then the footer links A color is going to be this color here, then the margin to sort of separate them, then the font size is going to be 20 pixels, and then the text decoration none, like this, perfect. Okay, then down here we have the social section. So footer social section is going to be display flex, justify content is going to be left in this case, the padding left is going to be 20 pixels, and then the border left is going to be 1 pixel solid, and then this color here, and this is sort of a separator between the two sections. And then of course we need to style the icons. So the font size is going to be 30 pixels because we are using the Font Awesome icons, so we can change the color here like that. So it's really, really cool. And then margin 7 pixels, just like that. Perfect. All right, so this is what we actually have. That's starting to look better. Okay. Now we need to actually add an effect when we hover over the links. So we can do something like footer, then links section, hover like this. Then we're going to use the same thing for the other one. So footer section, hover like this, and the color is going to be this one here, and then transform scale 1.05, just a little thing. So as you can see now, if you hover over them, it looks so much better because you can actually tell if you're hovering or not. Perfect. Okay, so now let's actually add the image. Okay, so up here under this more, we can add the image, footer, container, image, Of course, if you have more than one image, you should use an ID. Actually, we can actually do that. So we can go here. You can do something like ID, footer, curve, something like that. Okay, so you show that you're targeting that one. And here, instead of this, we're going to do this. Perfect. So footer curve, position is going to be absolute, left, 50%, and then transform, translate X, minus 50%. This is to center it. Then the bottom is going to be 0, and then with 140%, like this. In this case, the greater the width and the less the sharpness of the curve, okay? And we'll use this later on when we'll make things responsive to increase and decrease the sharpness of the curve based on the width of the screen, okay? So really, really important. Then the height is going to be 400 pixels, like this, and the value of the height needs to be enough to cover the footer. Okay, so this is what we've got. Okay, as you can see, the curve is here. You don't see anything because we need to actually add the Z index. But first I want to show you one thing. First of all, if we change the height of this, let's say 300 pixels, as you can see, you've got something like that. Okay, because of course the curve goes here, down here, it goes up here. So of course you see this part of the footer because you need to have the curve here above the footer, if that makes sense. So with 400 pixels, that's enough. Okay, as you can see here, you've got the footer, but you don't see that. And actually, let's add the Z index -1. So it goes under everything. So as you can see now, you can see the different links, etc. And also I want to show you one thing. You can actually scroll this way to see the curve, the remaining part of the curve. So here you've got 400 pixels. Okay, if we go down to 200 and we scroll that way, as you can see, this is 200 pixels and it goes down and it enters the footer here. Okay, and also you've got the overflow. So even if we have 400 pixels like this, still you can scroll that way and it doesn't look great. So to actually fix that, you need to do something like this. So you need to go up here to the main container and add something like overflow X hidden. So if we save that and we go back here, as you can see now, it doesn't let us scroll right anymore because everything is hidden. Okay, so you still can go up and down here. It doesn't change anything. But now I want to show you one thing. So if we open the developer tools, okay, here, and we go to the responsive design mode, all right, and we go to, let's try 2080 like this, and of course we need to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so this is a standard screen and it looks good, but let's actually reduce the height like this, and if we start decreasing the width of the page, as you can see, the sharpness of the curve increases. Okay, and it gets really, really curved, look, especially with smaller screens. As you can see, it's really, really curved. And if we go to iPhone like that, that's too much, in my opinion. It doesn't look great. And also we need to fix the links because we've got things overflowing the screen. So as I said, to change the sharpness, let's go back here like that. To change the sharpness of the curve, we are going to increase the width of the image. Okay, so we can actually do something like this. So let's go back here. If we scroll down here, we can actually do something like media and max width pixels like that, and then footer curve and width 175 pixels. Okay, this is what I actually found to be good. So now when we reach 1400 pixels, you'll see that the sharpness of the curve will decrease. Okay, so we're nearly there. As you can see, look at now. As you can see, more curved, less curved. Okay, as you can see, and it looks better when we go down. But when we reach this, is still too much, and we're going to add another media query. So we're going to get this, and we're going to do something like 750 pixels, and we're going to change this to 230%. And as you can see, when we get down to iPhone size, that looks good in my opinion. And when you go back up, as you can see, the sharpness increases at this point, and it changes also at 1400 pixels, because the more you stretch the image, the less the sharpness of the curve. Okay, so when we reach a certain point, we need to increase the sharpness, because otherwise you sort of see a flat line, and you don't want that. You actually want this to be a little bit curved, no matter the screen size. So as you can see, it's still curved. Okay, but now we also need to change this, because otherwise you see this and it doesn't look great. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code, and let's actually add here to keep things in order. So footer container is going to be margin top, and that's going to be 0. Then footer container footer, and this is going to be margin bottom 15 pixels. We need to change a few things when the screen is narrower. Then the footer container, the divs are going to be 100%, which will make things one on top of the other. Okay, but as you can see, they are not centered, so we need to change that. So down here we can do something like footer links section justify content center, and then padding right 0. And then for the footer section like this, we can do something like justify content center, of course, then padding left 0, border left 0, and margin bottom 10 pixels like this. So let's actually see what we get. Okay, so this looks so much better now with the links like that. And of course, when you reach 750 pixels, things change. As you can see, they change like that, and also the curve, okay, like this. Of course, when it comes to mobile phones, you don't have a lot of room here, so you might have to change things up if you have more links, for example, but this is not supposed to be a footer with a lot of links, because this is more like a footer for a personal website with a few links and social icons. I'm gonna release a video where I'll show you how to create a more advanced footer with a lot of links and stuff like that you can use, for example, for e-commerce. So if the video is already out, you'll see the link down in the description box down below, okay? Of course, you can change the sharpness of the curve by increasing and decreasing the width of the image as we did earlier. As I said, you'll find this SVG file with the source code by using the link in the description box down below. And you can also change the color really easily, so you can really use it for your own website. Now on the screen, you should see another video about web development, so go and check that out. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description box down below. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.